Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about using verbs correctly. Every verb has four basic forms, which are called principal parts of a verb. The first one, base form. The second one, present participle, past and past participle. Let's start with the regular verbs. Now, a regular verb forms its past and past participle by adding d or ed to the base form. I shared with you a list of regular verbs like kick, kicked, kicked, kill, killed, killed. As you can see, the base form is kill, and we add to the base form ed in the past and the past participle. This is the idea of regular verb. We add d or ed to the base form. For example, if we say we were not supposed to study that. Now this sentence, it's not standard because the ed is missing from the past form for the verb suppose. And the standard and the right example or the right sentence is we were not supposed to study that. You have to add the ed to the base form to have the past form. For example, if I say, have you space Ahmed's cards from the mail yet? Now, and the base form we have is collect. Now, as you can see here, we have to use the past participle in the sentence in the space. So what's the past participle of collect? Is collected. It's a regular verb. It's regular verb, and we add ed to it. Here's a question. Fill in the blank with the correct form of regular verb. Yesterday, the teacher, space, then us, that we need to study hard for the exam. And we have three choices: remind, reminded, reminding. And we have yesterday. It's a keyword. We have to use the past form. So the answer is, yesterday the teacher reminded us that we need to study hard for the exam. We add ed to the base form remind, so we have the past form reminded. Let's move to irregular verbs. Now, irregular verb forms its past and past participle in some way other than by adding d or ed to the base form. So in the irregular verb or verbs, we don't add d or ed. For example, be. The base form is be, while in the past simple, it's was or were. Depends on the subject. And in the participle, it's been. As well, become. In the base form, it's become. Past, it's became. While in the participle, it's become. And so on. Now, the verb consonants may change in the irregular verb. For example, bend. In the base form, it's bend. In the present participle, we add the ing. It's still bending. While the consonant D may change, or it's already changed in the past form. We use it as bent. And in the past participle, we say have bent. So the D changed to be T. As will make. Making in the present participle, in the past, it's made. The K, the consonant K, changed to D. And in the past participle, have made. Now, here's the tip. When you are not sure whether a verb is regular or irregular, do not guess. Look the verb up in a good dictionary, because the dictionary will list all irregular forms of a verb. Now, the verb's vowels and consonants may change as well. The base form for the word think, or for the verb think, in the present participle, it's thinking. In the past, thought. Past participle, it's also have thought. The verb may take no changes at all. For example, the base form coast and cut. It changed to be in the present participle coasting, but in the past and past participle stay the same. Coast and coast. Cut, cutting, cut, and cut. No change at all. Here we have an example. My stepfather, space, me a ring for my birthday. Is it buyed or bought? Now the answer is bought because it's a regular verb. The base form is buy and the past participle and the past form is bought. It's a regular verb. Now, the tense of a verb indicates or shows when the verb's action or state of being takes place. This is the idea of tense. Show you the time. The time of an action or state being can be past, present, or future. Every verb has 6 tenses. The 6 tenses show different ways of expressing time. The 6 tenses are present, present perfect, past, past perfect, future, and future perfect. The present, like the children play. The present tense verb play shows an action that is happening. Is happening now. Present perfect. The children have played. Now the present perfect tense have played shows an action that started to happen sometimes before now. And the present perfect verbs begin with have or has, depends on the subject. Past. The children played. The past tense played shows an action that happened in the past. Past perfect, the children had played. Now, had played shows an action that happened before a specific time in the past. Past perfect verbs begin with had. Future, the children will play. Now, the future tense verb will play shows an action that will happen in the future. Will play. Something will happen in the future. Future perfect, the children will have played. The future perfect verb will have played shows an action that will happen before a specific time showed that will have happened before a specific time in the future. Now the progressive form. Each tense has an additional form called the progressive form. The progressive form expresses an action or state of being that keeps going on. Present progressive. Now, before we list them, when a verb ends in silent E, drop the E before adding the ing ending to make the present participle form. For example, care. As you can see, care ends with E and it's silent E. So we drop it when we add ing to the verb. So it changed to be is caring. Believe, it's also silent E. So we drop it before adding the ing. So is believing. We have present progressive. The children are playing. It's present progressive. We have past progressive. The children were playing. future progressive, the children will be playing. We have present perfect progressive, the children have been playing. And we have past perfect progressive, the children had been playing. And future perfect progressive, and it's the children will have been playing. Now, triple sum verbs. Now, we have three groups of verbs. We have lie, lay, rise, raise, sit, and set. First, you have to understand these principles. The first verb in each of the above pairs is intransitive. These words, lie, rise, sit, and their participle parts do not transfer the action to a direct object. So they are intransitive verbs. While the second verb in each pairs is a transitive, like lay, raise, sit, and their participle parts are transitive verbs and are usually followed by direct objects. Here we have rise and raise. Now the verb rise means to go upward. Smoke still rises from the brush fires. The verb rise here, it's intransitive verb. We don't have an object in this sentence, and still it expresses complete thought. The second one, the verb raise, means to move something upward. Raise generally takes an object. Please raise your hand. Now, raise, it's an action verb that it's a transitive. So, hand in this sentence is the direct object for the verb raise. Lie and lay. The verb lie means to rest, to recline, or to be in place. Dora lies on the hammock. Lies on the hammock. Now, lies here, we don't have object in this sentence because lies is intransitive verb. While the verb lay means to put something in a place, and lay generally takes an object. When we say Mark lays the cup on the saucer. Now, lays, it takes an object in this sentence, which is the cup. So, cup here is the object that receives the action lays. Here we have the tenses for both lay and lie. Now, as you can see here, lie in the present tense still the same. Past tense is laid, past participle laid, present participle is laying. Lie, the same in the present tense. In the past, it's lay. Past participle, it's laying. Present participle is lying. Sit. To be in a seated upright position. And sit with E to put something in a place. For example, I will sit in the chair. I sit the cat down. Now in the first example, I will sit in the chair. Sit is intransitive verb. We don't have object in the sentence, and still it's a complete thought. While the second sentence, sit with E, we have object, which is the cat. So, sit with E is transitive verb, while sit with I is intransitive verb. Active and passive voice. A verb in the active voice expresses an action done by its subject. But the verb in passive voice expresses an action done to its subject. For example, we have an active here. The Central Park offered me a free ticket. Now, the action of the verb offered was done by the subject park. The subject, the Central Park. In the passive, a free ticket was offered to me by the Central Park. Now, the action of the verb was offered was done to the subject ticket. Rules. Now, the tense present simple. In the active, it's present, I make a cake. To change it to a passive, a cake, which is the object, comes to the first. Then we change the present simple make to be is made, which is plus the past participle from the verb make. So a cake is made. Present continuous, I'm making a cake. In the passive, also we put the object first, which is a cake. Then we change the I'm making to is being made. I made a cake in the past simple. We put a cake, the object, in the first. Then we add was to indicate the past simple. Then we add the verb 3 or the past participle of make, which is made. A cake was made. I was making a cake in the past continuous. A cake was being made. Present perfect, I have made a cake. Now in the passive, a cake has been made. Past perfect, in active, we say I had made a cake. Now in the passive, we put the object first, a cake. Then we say had been to indicate the past perfect tense. Then we add made in the past participle form of make. Future simple, I will make a cake will be made. Will also keep the will at the same in active and passive. We add be made to indicate the future simple in the passive, and so on. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in our next class. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.